Well, I tell you on the front side this morning, we are going to see context, we're going to see a conversation, and then we are going to share in the commentary given by Christ himself. And it's my prayer that each one of us will walk out of here with a fresh set of eyes when we look upon this, the most famous part of God's Word. Now, you might say, well, if we've seen the theological, the Christological, if we've been there at the evangelical, the supernatural, and the confrontational, well, what is here? This morning we will look at the universal. The simple, universal truth that the gospel of Jesus Christ is one size fits all. Now, I tell that to you in hopes of inspiring you. For some of you, it's a reminder. For others, it's a shocking revelation. For all of us, it is a universal truth. And we see as we close out chapter 2, not only the contrast against the temple, the contrast against superficiality, we now see a continuation. Verse 1, chapter 3. Now there was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews. See this. Somebody who fits right at home in the temple, in the religious structure. Somebody who is about to show us a superficial faith, just like we saw at the end of chapter 2. Nicodemus is coming as the illustration of the close of chapter 2. I ask you, have you ever seen Nicodemus as the illustration of John 2? I suggest to you that most of us have not, because we've not embraced the full context of God's Word. I can come to this point and I can see whatever I want to see. But if I come in the context and under the authority of God's Word, and I realize that God is making a point and He's drawing a line, then I'm obligated to embrace that point in its relationship to the line that God is drawing. Let's continue. Verse 1. Now there was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews. This man came to Jesus by night and said to him, Rabbi, teacher, we know that you have come from God as a teacher. Must be saved, right? Wrong. For no one can do these signs that you do. The uniqueness of Christ, saved, right? Wrong. Unless God is with him. Gotta be saved. No. Superficial faith. John and God himself drawing for us a continuation of this contrasting portrait. And I pray before we're done this morning, you'll understand why, and it will bless you eternally. This is more than just a John line. I'm coming to see that the message here, it isn't just consistent with John. It isn't just consistent with John 1 and 2. This is consistent with the whole of the Bible. This starts from the very beginning of God's Word. And now I look and I say, whoo, what Jesus is about to share with Nicodemus, maybe this isn't just about the temple and some folks that came around looking for a free meal. Maybe this is for all of humanity because it's consistent with what God is saying. What if out here I find the cross? What if this is a message that self-contained brings the whole of the gospel to you and me? What if as we watch this, I realize that out here is where Christ returns? Friends, I pray you and I will embrace the full context that is here. You see, this conversation between Jesus and Nicodemus, it's not an isolated thing. It's not just between Jesus and the religious establishment. It's not even just a part of John's gospel. It's not just a part of the New Testament. I pray that we walk away realizing that this is a conversation that speaks to the whole truth of the gospel of Jesus Christ, that brings the story of the entire Bible right here for you and me to see.